What is good, you guys? Welcome back to the Hero Report. Welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about one man primarily, the newest undrafted stud for the Miami Heat, Gabe Vincent, because he had a monster game tonight against the Philadelphia 76ers. We're going to be recapping that game, talking more about Gabe Vincent, and so on and so forth. So before we get into it, make sure y'all drop a like, subscribe, and comment down below on the road to 1,600 subs. Let's get there as soon as possible, guys. I know you guys can do it. Let's get right into it, though. So this game, it was not that much optimism from Heat fans. We saw the injury report in the morning itself. Tyler Hero was not going to play this game, and we already were missing Jimmy Butler, Bam, Victor Oladipo, as well as Caleb Martin, who was in health and safety protocols. And we were down to essentially 10 players tonight. And it was basically 9 because UD did not even play. So we basically ran a 9-man rotation out there. And, to be honest, man, all these games that we've been playing so far without our guys like Jimmy and Bam, I haven't really had, that much expectations for us to, pull off upsets. I've really just been trying to see, if we can continue some of the themes that we showed in the beginning of the season when we were fully healthy. Like I said, I wasn't really expecting too many wins during this stretch because, we were missing a lot of our key players. But tonight was just really surprising for me because I did not expect us to win this game. I'm just gonna say it right now, I don't think a lot of Heat fans did with the amount of players we had out, but it was just a really gritty win, probably one of the best wins of the season. I think this win and the win against the Bucks, both the wins against the Bucks and this win were probably the 3 best wins against the season. The first win was, biggest win of the season, 47+ point win. The second win against the Bucks was crazy because no one predicted us to win that game. We were without Jimmy, Bam, Oladipo. This win was really nice too because we were still without Tyler Hero and Caleb Martin. Granted, the Sixers are not as good as the Bucks, but they're still a very, quality team in my opinion. They have nice pieces on that team. But Gabe Vincent really stole the show, man. 26, 3 and 2, hit timely threes. He had a career high in points and threes made. I'm pretty sure he had 7 threes. Even that last one, as soon as he hit that 3, when he made it, and then on the next possession, after I think something had happened on their offensive, I think Dedmon drew a charge or something like that. It was a disjointed possession, and then Gabe Vincent made a half-court shot, which would have countered had Kyle Lowry not stepped on the half-court line, which is even crazy. That just shows you how hot he was from downtown tonight. He was just crazy. He was amazing, and he's just the newest undrafted stud that the Heat have found and developed, man, because there have been so many, and he's just another guy that we have to add to the list now because he is legitimately solidifying himself as a rotational piece. I would not be surprised if he gets minutes in the playoffs. I know Oladipo will be coming back, but Gabe Vincent, I think, I wouldn't be surprised if him and Max Strus played in the playoffs because they just provide some unique aspects that we could really, really use, Gabe Vincent especially, I've been really surprised at his ability to shoot threes. I saw him, I kind of wasn't last year. I didn't really know what he brought to this team, but after watching him in the Olympics and how he was used in Nigeria's offense, he was kind of the go-to guy. And he was really, a scoring threat offensively in the Olympics. And then I kind of realized what the potential he had was. And this season he showed a lot of flashes, but tonight he was otherworldly. He was amazing. And he not only chipped in Duncan Robinson, 21 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists. He had a big first half, actually. I think he scored 17 in the first half. PJ Tucker hit 2 huge threes in the corner, I think late in the fourth quarter to extend the cushion. Lowry hit a couple of timely threes, one from way like next to the logo, basically. He hit a crazy 3, and then he hit another one, step back. He kind of controlled the game. He didn't have his best shooting night, but I think he did his, solid work. Dwayne Dedmon, shout out to Dwayne Dedmon. His performance will not go noticed because he didn't really do anything flashy, but defensively, I thought he did a great job. I thought we did a great job as a team containing Joel Embiid. He only had 17 points, and we kind of took him out the game. Basically, he hit some shots. He hit a 3, but we slowed him down as well as any team could have. And Dwayne Dedmon had a double-double with 5 assists, so he was one of our best players as well. And then off the bench, you had timely contributions. Max Strus with an and one, a 3. KZ Okpala, I thought had some solid minutes defensively and also offensively. And then Yurtseven there was a period where he was going at Drummond for a little bit, and I thought he was doing his thing. Marcus Garrett did not really show that much flashes, but he's still like a really new player to this rotation. He hasn't played much, so I'm not really expecting much out of him. And on the 76ers side, shout out to Tyrese Maxey. That man gave me a heart attack because he was crazy too. If they had won this game, he would have been the player of the game. And I knew him coming out of Kentucky, but I projected him to be a sort of a six-man type player. I did not really expect him to be this good so quickly. So I must apologize to him because I did not see this coming from him. I knew he was going to be a good, solid player, but I'm not going to lie. I thought Emmanuel Quickley was the better player coming out of college, and it looks like Tyrese Maxey has leapfrogged him because they both went to the same school. They both went to Kentucky. Tobias Harris, he was kind of their initiator in the first half. He had 15 first half points. Thibault did not do much. I thought we kept him in foul trouble pretty well. He was really limited. Danny Green hit a couple of big threes. Apart from that, though, we didn't really allow anyone else to really get going. Curry and Green did not score double figures. It was really Tobias Harris and Tyrese Maxey carrying that team. And you had timely contributions. I think this game was going to be inevitably close at the end. I knew, even though we had jumped out to a large lead, that the Sixers were not just going to lay their heads and watch us dominate them on their home court while we were shorthanded. So I expected them to come back, and that's what they did. So I was not really surprised with the runs that they made. I was just trying to see, were we going to weather the storm or were we just going to fold? Because I think one of their commentators said it. He was like, the Heat have played really well, but how long can an undermanned team play this well for? Will they start to crack under pressure? And it looked like at times, especially in that third quarter where we turned the ball over multiple possessions in a row, that it was finally going to come to an end, our beautiful run. But we kept fighting and we kept pushing, and that's what Heat culture is about. So shout out to us, man. We fought, and this is a game that we probably shouldn't have won, going into it, but we definitely should have won based on our performance in this game. And like I said, man, in this part of the schedule, without a lot of our key guys, if we can just avoid the play-in and stay in the top 6 seeding area, then I think we'll be just fine. Because you don't want to get into that play-in. It's just a very dangerous game to play. We've given ourselves a 2-game cushion for the play-in. And the Cavs are ahead of us, half a game ahead of us. The Bucks are a game ahead of us, and so are the Bulls. And then the Nets are the 1 seed. So we are currently at the 5 seed. And I think that's a good position. Without Jimmy and Bam, I'll take being. If you told me that we would be the 5 seed by the time Bam comes back and Oladipo comes back, then I would take it, because we're still going to be in the playoffs. And we're not going to fall to the play-in, which is what some people would dread without your best players. Hopefully Hero comes back next. We play the Magic. We all know, man, whenever we play Orlando on their floor, something always happens. We usually play them on the home opener. We did not play them this season away opener. We did not play them this season in the first game of the year. But Orlando's not that great of a team, but as we know, they always play us tough. So we're going to have to fight in that game. Cole Anthony's having a ridiculously good, underrated season, in my opinion. Then Franz Wagner has been really good as well. We played Orlando once in Miami, if I'm not mistaken, but we didn't play them after that. So it's gonna be an interesting game. Hopefully Hero can come back, and hopefully Markieff Morris, who has been also out of the rotation for a while, he can also make a return soon. So but tonight was all about Gabe Vincent, just coming back to him. He had a great game, man. And he is the Miami Heat's newest undrafted find, because I don't think, people talk about how good the Heat's front office is, but I really don't think people stress it enough, because the guys that we have on this team, Duncan Robinson was produced and developed by the Heat. Gabe Vincent, Max Strus, KZ Okpala, Omer Yurtseven, and Marcus Garrett. So 6 out of the 9 players on this team were all made and developed in Miami's development program, G League, whatever you want to call it. The only players who did not, develop their careers in Miami who played tonight were PJ Tucker, Dwayne Dedmon, and Kyle Lowry. If you want to add Udonis Haslem, he did not play, but he was also another guy who was developed by the Heat. that's ridiculous. Like that's crazy that, you know, there's so many amount of guys on this team who played solid, you know, minutes for us tonight, who were all developed by the Heat in their developmental program, G League. And that just, you know, it's a testament to how good the front office of this team is. And last but not least, man, Eric Spoelstra is a genius. I hope people never take him for granted. There was a lot of people going at his head this season, especially sometimes, but he's the best coach in the NBA to me. I really don't think it's a discussion. Yeah, so I hope you guys don't take it for granted, because he is really, really good. And I think that's where we're going to end the video, man. I think I talked about basically everything in this game. Shout out to the Heat for fighting. Shout out to the Heat for giving us fans, you know, something enjoyable to watch, because the last game against the Cavs was pretty disappointing. But like I said, did not really have much expectations going into these games because our best players were out. But tonight was special. So shout out to the Heat for making it special, and shout out to Gabe Vincent once again. And that's where we're going to wrap up the video. So leave a like, subscribe, comment down below.